All right. Welcome back to another episode of Vulnerable, Joel. And then we have Ron Lance.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am
Can
too.
you?
How many times do you hear me? I mean, I think in past episodes we've said
All the time.
Ron this and or Ron that. And
Because, Ron, your first time hunting with Joel was how long ago?
The first year he started.
So, I mean, 25 years ago.
25 years ago.
And you've never missed a year?
I have not missed a year.
Wow.
You haven't?
Never. No.
I thought maybe
Knock
something
on-
came up or something.
No,
Or
never. Never missed. Not been.
we even rocked it through COVID. I mean,
Yes.
it was like very touchy and hit or miss, but it's like people were so cooped up and everything. People were like, no, we're not giving that up.
Yeah, I mean,
We're not giving that up.
yeah. Did anything come up?
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Denise, one camp may have had COVID, and when everybody got home, they
had the sniffles.
Yeah. But I mean, we never masked it or did nothing like that around here. Nothing, man.
No.
We were out in the wide open.
Full go.
And they tried to, like, they eliminated outdoor stuff.
Wasn't that crazy?
They
Yeah.
eliminated our
forgot about
softball
that.
season
Yes.
and stuff, and that's the craziest thing.
Yep.
Or that
Yeah,
they did
shut
away
down
with
golf
that,
courses.
but yeah,
Yeah.
shut down golf
Golf.
course. Are you kidding me?
My wife and I talk about that, and sometimes it's like that literally felt like a blur for like a year and a half. That 2 years just felt like nothing.
It was a blur.
It just felt like
was
it
a
was
blur.
weird. And
I
like,
was waking up at 6:30 in the morning and watching Japanese baseball on ESPN. For real,
That is,
I was.
Japanese baseball.
Yeah,
No, it's
because that's
true.
all that was going on.
That's true.
There was nothing on TV.
that's true.
And then, the thing to do was do home projects, and
Yeah.
I would send my kids to Lowe's.
Yeah.
Like I'd give them my card and tell them what aisle they were getting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they would go to Lowe's and get stuff. I remember the first time I went to Lowe's, I would look at the end of an aisle, and somebody would look at me, and we would look at each other, and are you going to walk down the aisle, or am I going to walk down the aisle?
It's your turn. Go.
Golly.
So how did you come to? I mean, being Joel's first year, did you see a magazine ad? How did you come to meet Joel?
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
So I had hunted all over Ohio, had lost a couple really good leases. Not leases, but farms. And Rick Bussey, who was just on the show, or the podcast, he and I have been buddies for years. And he goes, Ron, I want to introduce you to somebody. And I'm like, okay, who is it? Joel Snow. I'm like, okay, I don't know Joel. I don't know if you remember, but we met at a Bob Evans over in Sydney.
You and I did?
Yeah, we set up
With
a time
Rick,
with
or
Rick,
just with
with
Rick?
Rick at the table, and introduction, and away we went. And
God, I don't
It's
even
been-
remember that.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely, Rick introduced us.
So how many guys were in camp
I mean,
that first
I knew
year?
Rick. I knew that Rick just said that I have a really good customer, and lives in Ohio, and I think he would be a good client for you. So
Thankful for
needless
that.
to say, yeah.
How many guys
to
were
say.
in that first camp? What was that like? What was that like your first time?
Was that picture? Was it 5 or 6 or
It
something
was,
like
that
that?
may have been a couple years later, but it was 5 or 6.
Okay.
I mean, what would
Yeah.
upstairs or up at the house?
Up at
the
That was
house.
at the Baum.
Yeah.
Was there bedrooms at that time? Was there bedrooms?
So was there bedrooms down here?
No.
No?
This hadn't been built yet.
No, in the basement.
In the basement.
It
Up
was
here.
just basement.
Yeah, and it was when your aunt would
Aunt
come
Clara.
up, Aunt Clara, and every morning it was fresh biscuits and gravy, and yeah, you were smoked up, smelling good like a kitchen when you walked.
That was
With
when
a full belly.
I mean,
That's
this
true.
was my. She was my dad's first cousin from Alabama.
Okay.
Clara.
Yep.
And
Oh God, I bet she cooked good.
oh
She
my
did.
gosh.
Yeah, country.
But the thing was, I mean, it was what was kind of the falling out is it was her way or the highway. I mean, it was if you would give a suggestion or we can't do that, we need to do this. No, she done whatever.
Somebody
the hell
has
she
an
wanted to.
allergy. She's like, well, they got to get over the allergy. No,
That's
I'm just
exactly
kidding.
right. Yeah, adjust.
Yeah.
And
adjust.
then I think her and Lisa kind of
Yeah.
maybe butted heads, and then that
Yeah.
was the end of
That was
Clara.
the end of it.
Yeah.
But I think we had 2 in each room, right? And then 1 on the couch. So it may have been 5 guys.
5 guys.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, yeah.
That's, and what?
So the one picture has, I think, 5 of us in it. And
It does.
You want to pull the picture up, Chris?
Yeah, I can.
We're having.
I think
Remember old Dan, the
so. That
the
was
guy on the
2
far
years
right.
in.
That was 2 years in.
So pull up the basement shot with.
Oh, and there's Mark Funa.
Do we have a
I
basement?
don't have a basement.
We didn't
shot.
get a basement
Oh,
shot. We didn't get a
And then,
basement shot.
and then
yeah.
do you remember the deer that I spot and stalked in
Yep.
in the CPR field
Yep.
or
CRP.
field?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Cuz. That was
Cuz.
the one, and he was the one in the tree stand.
Cuz says I ain't
that-
getting it done.
He's the one that says he sleeps every 50 minutes out of the hour in the tree.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that was Cuz.
And Cuz, do you remember when we are all eating supper in the basement? It is pouring down rain, and Gary McCoy, the next one beside him,
In the black
yeah,
t-shirt.
Gary goes, "Where's Anthony at?"
That's Cuz.
Yeah, that's
That's
Cuz.
Cuz.
And I said, "Holy shit! I forgot to pick up Anthony. He was still sitting in a ditch somewhere waiting."
And this was
was
prior.
pouring
There
down
was probably
rain.
no cell phones.
No.
You didn't have a
No.
cell phone
Probably
then,
not.
right? Or
No cell phone.
Yeah, and
No, it's true. And we were eating dinner. So
We were
some of-
eating.
yeah, we were actually eating.
so what did you say when you picked him up?
He don't. I figured somebody'd come here sooner or later and get me.
That's exactly almost to a T. Almost
Is that
to
not
a
what he
T.
was
That's
saying?
exactly right. Big smile.
That's
Didn't
great.
rock it. Yeah.
I mean, he did not get too worked up about
No.
anything. Let me tell
No,
you.
nothing.
So he's drenched. I'm guessing he's just sitting by the
Soaked.
road.
He was sitting by a telephone pole out by the road. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
and
the
it wasn't
pouring
like-
rain, and we're all eating supper. Oh my gosh!
That may have
so
been
needless to say, he's not like a standout person, and like he just kind of blends in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And I doubt he had Gore-Tex. I don't. That may have been pre-Gore-Tex.
It was probably white Walmart waffle thermals. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoa, don't be knocking those. Those are pretty good. I like those. I upgraded to those Rocky Walmart and the gray ones. I like those. It's warm.
That's like now a country song. Justin Moore's got a country song, and it's like people are wearing a $600 camo now, and
Yeah.
and I had Walmart
That's what I
camouflage and Walmart white waffle underwear or long johns.
That's true. Yeah. And rubbers on with buckles on them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mark Funa still has his.
Does he really?
He still has those lacrosses, alpha burleys that the ankle fit and the little buckle on the side. I said, how are those not dry rotted?
I have a pair of those.
Huh?
They're about six. I got them when I was 16 years old. So that'd be about.
Where you're like wrestling an anaconda to get them off because they're so tight on your ankles.
Yeah, 16 years old. Is that about the time?
That's
Maybe-
probably about. I mean,
They got the
they've been
buckle
around
on the
long.
side and they're real tight on my ankle.
Yeah.
I think I pulled a hamstring getting mine off.
Oh,
Seems
yeah.
like I'm done with them.
And Ron's, if Ron has like 1,400 gram insulation ones, they have the appearance that they're like that big around. I mean,
Well,
they
you have
are
a 15 foot.
gigantic.
Yeah, you got a big foot. That's awesome.
It's true.
So,
Very true.
are you still with does Ron kind of have a group now that you've been here so long? Do you have a group and a date that you?
I did, but
did.
we changed dates. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one
Okay.
of those kind of things where you just sort of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So Ron had at one time hunted with the Skankarellas
Yes.
back in the day.
Yep.
And
They changed.
and then they changed dates, and then Ron had both big deer were basically killed in the late teens, and so he had kind of hung with that late teens. But before we started, me and him were sitting here talking, and we're like, things have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and he's seen it in 25 years. Things have definitely changed with the deer and the dates and the movement so he was just up for a change.
yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'm like, I think we can maybe make something work with the people are dead set on their groups that they're with, but if I just kind of give a little, why don't you try this week for a couple weeks? I think you'll like it. And then I'll do little flip-flops or whatever with people and stuff.
And then I got back with the skanks.
Yeah, so he's now back with the Skankarellas.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, in October.
Back with Skankarellas.
Yeah. So what he said is sort of interesting because back in the day, so the 211 was killed on the 14th of November. Okay.
The 211-inch buck that you killed. Yeah.
And then 4 years later, the 198 was killed 4 days later. 4 years and 4 days.
On the 18th. On the 18th.
Yeah. So you could count on back then, in 05 and 09, the rut was different than it is now.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah. And just to be clear, just so everybody knows, this is the 198 and some change, right? Yep. And then this is the 211.
Yep.
Yep. Killed out of the
5/8. Yep.
I know we're going to get to the story eventually, but killed out of the same tree stand, right? Is that this is that? Yep.
Yeah, this is that.
That's fantastic.
4 years apart.
That's awesome.
We definitely need like a check-in on the comments or a check-in on from people if anyone has killed 200s out of the same tree.
I would have
with a bow.
I would have to say that's a no. I mean, there's no way. You might be like one of the only people that's ever done that.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, the tree stand never moves. Same tree, same tree stand,
same everything.
Yeah, the height of the stand hasn't changed. Nothing's changed.
Yeah,
other than a refresh on the steps. That's about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what could you tell that there was, in that area, did you have more, did you have 180s, 190s, 200s, was these just kind of
we'll get to that story. We'll get to that story.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
it is amazing.
So from starting in 25 years ago to now, and I'm not talking about the deer hunting, how have you seen Joel and the outfitting business evolve? And you can talk about the people, the way things are done or how Joel does them.
He saw a roller coaster is what he's saying.
So I mean, I'm kind of curious to see somebody. I mean, nobody has that perspective. You're probably one of the. Are you the only? Is Ron the only person?
Yeah, this is the first. So that's kind of
Well, I mean, is Ron the only person that's been with you for 25 years?
Mark Funa has been here the whole time.
Okay.
And I would say pretty much that you too.
You too. Okay.
Yep.
Would be
you and Funa, I'd say. Rob's been a long time, but Rob hasn't been since the beginning.
And the skanks came the year before that deer.
And the skanks came the year before that deer.
Yeah, so they came in 2008. So they're coming up on 20 in a couple years. Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember when weren't they? Remember when we had it on a trailer and we pulled up to get them, and they were.
It was a New York party.
It was. Oh my gosh!
You pulled up on a trailer. What are you talking about?
It was the deer was on a trailer.
Okay.
And we pulled up to get Mike or just one of them. I think Mike. And we pulled up with that deer, and he was like, "Oh my god!" He's a big
crazy. Boy. Yeah, there was momentum behind the hook.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was a good. Yeah, that's always good days whenever that stuff happens. Yeah.
So going back to the question, what have you seen about? I mean, because sorry, Joel, but you're 58.
Yep, 58.
So 20. You'd have been 32. Roughly.
Yeah, roughly.
So from 32 to 58 years old. I mean, I'm 33, so then I'm just thinking about the mentality of how does Joel personally change? How does the business change? How does the people change? That's maybe a tough question, but what are the things that kind of pop in your head when you think about the last 25 years?
So first of all, Joel has not changed.
Really?
Yeah. There's been now age, right? But his commitment to having a great time, right, and about people has not changed. One iota.
Yep.
I mean, it's at his core. It was how he was raised. If you spend time with his parents, you would know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he was raised.
Yeah.
He's got a love for hunting. He's got a love for the outdoors. He's got a love for people.
Now the business has changed.
The business has changed.
Yeah.
The business has changed. And I mean, I remember the day where there was piles of tree stands in the back, and we would go and hang and go. And in fact, that's where these came from.
Yep.
And strategically, what I believe his growth has been is strategically looking at a piece of property and setting it up for the customer based on what his trends and what he sees. Brilliant mind when it comes to whitetails.
Yeah.
Brilliant mind. And that has changed. And he's an active learner, right? Back then he was learning.
For sure.
Yeah, huge,
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, it's not changed a whole lot. He just matured at his position and got strategic with how he ran his business.
Yeah. It's a good answer.
Yeah.
The have you ever seen Joel upset?
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't want to see it.
I do get it. I mean, it takes a lot
Yeah.
for it to happen, and unfortunately, I like don't say nothing, and I let it build, and then a volcano blows.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it's not very often.
No.
Not very often.
No, it's not. I have seen it though, but it's what's interesting is he keeps it in check.
Yeah.
And he's better at managing. I personally, so I ran a sales team of 800 people.
Wow.
But I didn't run personalities like he runs to a camp where you got
yeah,
your customers that are demanding, I need to be here, I need to be there.
Roll into what you did for a living.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Tell
right.
us.
Yeah. I was in the medical field, medical sales. Worked for a company called Genentech, it's a biotech company. We were the founders of genetic research. So the human genome and all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you watch Jurassic Park,
Yes.
right? So if you read the book, it's a race.
Elena was down here and had Jurassic Park on, and the person, it said Geno.
Geno on it.
Like that was the name of the company that was.
Yes.
That was right. So if you read the first book.
Which stands for, sorry, I don't mean to cut, genealogy? Is that what, is that
Well,
no? Okay.
Yeah. Genentech is more for genetics.
Okay.
Right. And so the old man that did the dinosaurs, and there was a company that they were racing who could figure out how to clone first.
Okay.
And that company in the book is called Genentech. And there's a real Genentech.
Okay.
But we don't do dinosaurs. We don't do deer. So we did heart attack, stroke, breast cancer, really tough disease states.
Trying to prevent it, trying to understand if someone's high
and cure.
Okay.
So unmet medical needs. So I'll give you a perfect example. So you cut your hand, right? You first happen, you get a scab. What dissolves the scab over the next week or 10 days is a substance called tissue plasminogen activator.
Okay.
You have it, I have it, doesn't matter if we're black, white, purple, no matter male, female, it's all in us.
Right.
So we had some great scientists that figured out how to genetically clone that. So
people that have alopecia they have too much of that.
They have too much of that.
Too much of that, yep.
But in a heart attack or a stroke, you'll throw a clot. Your body would dissolve that over time, but not in a quick fashion. So damage happens to the heart, stroke happens to the brain. So by genetically engineering that protein, we can give you an IV infusion of it. And usually if you get there quick enough, it'll dissolve the clot like that and reverse any kind of damage. So,
interesting.
So I ran a sales team.
Were you based out of your home?
That's a great question.
He traveled a lot.
Traveled a lot.
Yeah. I did 30 years. The last 10 years, regional sales director, had a third of the company, and did 168,000 air miles. That was my average over 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
Annual average. So yeah.
I remember San Francisco all the time.
All the time.
168,000.
So I had an office here at home. I had an office. I live in Dayton. An office in Dallas, an office in San Francisco. So,
Wow.
So yeah,
unbelievable. I feel like we could probably spend a whole segment on that. But
it was a phenomenal career.
Yeah. And you retired?
Retired 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yeah, 7 years ago.
What does your life look like now after retirement?
A lot of volunteer work with veterans and the elderly. So I do a lot of work that way.
Any grandchildren?
One, and another one on the way. So
nice.
Another one on the way?
Another one on the way. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, another girl. She's due in February. Jordan.
I just I remember work conversations with Ron. You know, you talk about their work and everything, and I just remember, when in the early days of his business, he could take somebody from a hospital out for a hot dog and a game and do this and that and everything, and then it got to be where he couldn't even take them out and give them a ballpoint pen.
No.
And now he said his business after COVID, you can't even walk in the hospital and see somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, my crew did a lot of cath lab, ER, so you were hands-on with the doctors and nurses. Not now.
Yeah.
So it sort of took the fun
out
of
of
the
it.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
But
have
I remember. Sorry,
No, you're
I
good.
remember that you would like go to a game, hot dogs,
Yeah.
and then you said you can't do that no more.
No.
And then then you're giving them pens and stuff,
Yeah.
and well, can't do that no more. And
Can't do nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
had to go to High State, whatever the big hospital's called in High State.
OSU, the
Wexner.
Wexner Center. Yep.
And I couldn't believe they took my ID. They scanned my ID, took my address, took my phone number, and everything just to sign in to just get your ticket. And then they had a security guard walk me to the elevator, follow me up, and then get me off at the floor. I was like, wow.
Have him tell a quick story about his daughter.
Yeah. So on which one?
Or what you were just saying about the car, the
key.
security
Yeah.
key.
So now you literally, to your point, you're given a key fob. So patients, let's just say it's your brother. Your brother's in ICU on the 4th floor. He signs over who's allowed to see him. So who's allowed to see him checks in, they give you a key fob. The elevator recognizes you. If you hit floor 2, you don't go. Elevator doesn't move. If you hit 4, it'll take you to 4. When you get off, you go through another set of doors that allows you to get even onto the floor in the wing that they're on. I mean, it is literally that tight.
So that
It's preventing you from going anywhere else. You are going to where you need to
that
go.
card is route detected.
Yeah.
It is route detected. And a lot of it's because we live in a wicked world. I mean, people do crazy things. And you were asking about my career. When I was in that market, not just as a rep, but then a division manager and a region manager, you could walk in the hospital, and I could walk right into the CCU. Be bedside if the doc says, come on, and we're having conversations while somebody's getting a cath.
Yeah.
I mean, it was...
That's not happening now.
No, it's not.
No.
But you had to earn that, right?
Right.
So, we were put through a cardiac fellowship in about 9 months, a 2-year program. So you knew how to communicate with the doctors.
I mean, our lives have evolved and changed, and not for the good. I mean, in my opinion, I mean the personal level has left stuff.
It has.
Yeah, it has.
It has.
Not in my business, but
not in yours.
No, you're right.
But I mean, in some businesses, the personal level has changed. Yeah.
So you asked that question about has Joel changed?
Yeah, or the business or anything.
Or the
Go ahead.
business.
Yep, go ahead.
What I have appreciated and what most of the customers that I've been with, what they appreciate about Joel the most is who he is, right? His honesty, his upfront, they want to be with him here, even if it's a tough year, right? And most of them will go with Joel. They will go with Tim knowing that they're going to have a great hunt, whether they get one or not.
Right.
And everything here, the lodge, everything, this is an evolution in and of itself.
Yeah.
To go from up there in the house, which we were underneath his living quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about that. So you got guys that...
You don't know. You really don't know you got kids.
I mean, I could hear Stan Potts snore from my bedroom.
No.
Legitimately.
And
hopefully he sees that.
No, it's true.
Hey, Stan Potts, you snore apparently.
No, it's true. But and the kids would come down and have dinner with us, and everybody has a different style of language and different things.
Yeah.
But when you got kids in there,
we
could tell some story.
Who was the story? You told a story about somebody
because it was a family atmosphere. My kids were little, and hey, time to eat, and here come my kids walking down the stairs, and the kids would eat with us, and and Sierra was so shy, and yeah.
So it was, and then to have this, what he built here, is just. It took it to a different level.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And it gave him space, which we all were like,
correct.
Because how in the world, Lisa? We were worried about it.
Yeah.
If you were a customer, you're a friend of Joel's.
Yeah.
That has not changed.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a lot of trust in you and Lisa to bring the first year, to bring guys in, living, you have kids. Did you have a lock?
So
you had a lock on the basement door going up, right?
There was,
did you have a lock on the basement door?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. But the year before Ron was just a few. Do you remember Guy?
Yes. Yes, I do remember Guy.
This was like a big bodybuilder guy from New Jersey, and
he'd wear a sweatsuit.
Yeah,
rubber sweatsuit.
Yeah, and they were that was like just a listing in the back of Peterson Bow Hunting, and it was, I don't know if I've told the story or not, but it was basically a like I was taking them, but lodging wasn't involved. It was just they stay somewhere, get here in the morning, and then I take them, and it was like these three fellas wanted to come, but they really didn't want to stay in a hotel, so it was like, all right, you can stay. So they like legitimately like stayed in my house with us and everything.
Really? Was that the, I mean, that was kind of the COTS era? Was that like, I mean, maybe you
No,
threw
I
out some
think they may have even been like upstairs on mattresses or yes, that may have even
yes,
been
whatever you could.
cots or whatever. And
Yeah.
Lisa would cook when she got home, and so yes,
The
that
basement
was
wasn't even finished, was
the
it?
basement
No.
wasn't even finished then.
No.
Hey, Ron, can I pull that cord?
Yeah, basement wasn't even finished. Man, that's good memories.
Did we
Nope, I'm good.
go back?
Yep.
That could have been my big feed.
No, you're good.
But I mean, you know, to what Ron was talking about, the nature. It took a long time to figure out the sweet spot, I guess I want to say.
Yes.
You know, because I was growing two businesses, a plumbing and heating, and this were kind of growing at the same time. And then it got to the point where I was kind of miserable a year with both businesses because both things were growing. I had like 13 new homes going on entering October, plumbing and heating. And it was like, that was, I think, the next year is when I crossed the road and decided if I'm going to make a go at this, I can get a little bit bigger on the hunting side, and I'm going to I'm going to sell my plumbing and heating company.
Right.
And then it got to where then, you know, the TV people and the, you know, I got sick of that real quickly. But then it got to be...
Clarify, you mean the TV people, like the people that hunted for a profession on...
So the people that are going to come here and publicize you, and you felt that you needed it, and then that was the wrong... I mean, it was just the evil of the business at the time. That was at the time that the Outdoor Channel was just starting to get really big. You know, everybody's watching the Outdoor Channel. And so I think I felt that you wanted to grow a business that way, but really I was also kind of building a business by word of mouth and just doing the right thing, and and your good customers come from word of mouth. I mean, when people see, I mean, I can't say that. I mean, I have a few good customers that saw me on North American Whitetail or saw me on, but so then the business kind of grew too big, and then I could see that when your average size of your deer you're killing are going, because if you have too many people here, come day 4 or 5, you know, if somebody that's not a good customer or close to you, they're going to shoot a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old or whatever. And I mean, I saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, if I'm doing this for longevity, I need to do it this way. You know, you need to. So then, you know, 8 people became 6 people, became 5. You know, so unfortunately, it's a business that I found the happy medium of making just enough money to make a go at it, and then I do other things during the summer and everything.
So there's another side to that. So I watch this happen with what he's talking about. Okay, so you've got these guys roll in with a rig. They're famous in Michigan, but they may not be famous in Ohio. But they think they are famous in Ohio. Right. So they come in, and Joel's having to manage that. There's nothing wrong with what he did. He was building a business, taking advantages of what was in front of him. But yet, they would be very demanding.
Yes.
So you've got 6, let's just say, hunters in. You've got 2 cameramen, 2 hunters, a fancy rig trailer out there, and they were really pushing him. I mean, I've watched him sit at the table, I won't say who, and demand what they want him to do for the next day to set the tree up for them to kill the steer. Now you talk about, have you ever seen him mad? If there was ever a time, and I've told Joel this, if there was ever a time I wanted to kick the dude's tail.
That was it.
I did. It was it. He managed that perfectly, right? But the customers are hearing this, right?
Yeah.
So
they feel like they're on the outside.
You're right, and they see him being pulled, right? So it was a really
I didn't like that.
It wasn't Joel. But he knew strategically how to take advantage of the opportunity, right? And then when to cut bait. So it's all good.
The way it rolls is
makes 100% sense.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
These people, they don't pay to hunt here.
They pay to advertise you.
Correct. So then once you finally got to a good place where you're full every year, you can just tell, then you could just say adios.
Did people keep calling you for the next, after you made that? Did you get some phone calls?
You would just have to gradually cut ties and just say, nah, I don't deal with it. I mean, it's a lot doing the filming and the double stands and it's a lot.
It's too much.
It's a lot.
It's too much.
It is.
Yeah.
So I would rather Ron Lance shoot a 190 incher than a TV crew shoot a 190.
So I was gonna lead absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about that a lot, like Joel living through his customers, right?
Oh,
he's living through the customer. So I was gonna ask you, Ron, out of the 25 years, how many deer have you taken with Joel? Do you know? I mean,
Ron hasn't killed a gazillion deer. Once you've killed a couple 200, you become a little selective.
You're a little picky. No, I get that. And I wasn't asking for that question because we've talked about success rates or arrows, or we've talked about that. Joel has very high numbers. We all know that. Yes. But I was just curious. I mean, have you taken 10 deer in the last 25 years?
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
10, 15 deer?
One of the more memorable things is and we talk about mechanicals and everything. I remember a strong quartering away deer with a mechanical, and he watched it. It like grazed right down the side. It laid him open. Like it was.
It clipped the left rear rib.
It hit the rib,
and it ricocheted down the deer
and sliced down his whole side. It never did enter him.
That was a 170.
Didn't kill it, did it?
No,
never recovered.
Never penetrated the chest.
Never even went in him.
Did you find the deer, or did you ever see the deer again?
Yes,
I'm sure.
Tim did. Yeah, Tim saw him.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
They called him Scar.
So if he was like this, it hit the last rib and scooted down the side of him.
I've seen or heard of that story happening before. And you brought it up because of mechanicals, or you just think it's
that was mechanic. I mean, that wouldn't have happened with a. Because I remember back in the day, you were a big G5 guy.
Huge.
And he missed his target one time, and I think his G5 went through the culvert pipe or something like that. Is that a story?
Yeah.
Like, that probably would not have happened with a fixed blade.
Yeah.
And I mean, mechanicals have come a long way,
They have.
With the one now that supposedly the
Bomar one. I don't know that. We've talked about. I don't know that.
Have you studied up on the
Bomar
one?
No.
Or the,
I won't mess with a mechanical.
Ron's out.
I would rather, I'd have custom made. I'd rather spend $40 on a good solid broadhead. Than that.
What do you shoot now?
So solids. They're called solids. They're out of Michigan.
Okay.
And they're stainless and handmade and hand laser cut.
I've never heard of that company.
Never heard of it.
They are amazing. They are.
We just gave it a shout out.
But,
yeah. So, what's their cut diameter?
1 3/4.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
up to
inch. Up. Okay, and they're fixed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, it's big.
That's big.
And that they use those for more of the elk, big stuff. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's 100 grain. But yeah, the story on the mechanical was.
It was like your last day.
I fell victim to advertising.
Yeah.
I really did. I bought a new bow. I'm like, I'm going high tech. And it was about the last day. And sure enough, I zippered him. And it was a beautiful shot. And I literally watched it just graze him and laid him open.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world? And it deployed. It fully deployed. But it hit that back rib.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that
You know,
that bow got
they
sold.
get you with that 2¼ inch diameter
They
and
do.
the hypodermic, you know, or sharp and the.
I can't
Yeah.
remember the brand, but yeah, I was so tickled with it. I'm like, I'm all set up. I'm ready to rock, and it didn't rock.
I mean, you can kill a deer with a. I mean, you can kill a deer with a
the
field
field point,
tip.
I
I mean,
mean, yeah,
you know,
you
you can
can.
kill a deer with. You
Yeah.
know, it's about shot placement, right?
I mean, a field tip would have went through that deer.
Yeah.
But
It would have. Yeah, yeah, we'd have been dragging for a while.
So you guys have done. Have you guys done some trips together?
We have.
Okay.
We have.
Because I wanna take a quick break in about 20 minutes. I'm just giving you guys a little warning here.
Okay.
But I want to hear about your trip. So what trips have you guys? Because I mean,
I think first, go ahead.
the cool thing about what you guys have done, or what Joel has done, is we've talked about it was an outfitting business, and it's now viewed as a club, and it's now viewed as friendship. It's now viewed as partnership. It's now viewed as, you know, it's not bringing in Joe Smo. It's, you know, the guys that you've hunted with. Of the guys that come to hunt with Joel, how many of them do you know personally? Like, I mean, if Joel has
A lot
35
of
to
them.
40
Lots of
guys,
I'll just say,
I
I'd
think
say
that
over half. Over
I think that's
50%.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
I-
you roughly know and have potential friendships with 15 to 20 guys
Yeah.
because of this.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
He probably has people that text you and check in
I
occasionally,
do.
don't
I do,
you?
absolutely.
That's
and it's a
awesome.
camaraderie.
That's
I mean, it's
awesome.
literally a camaraderie.
So playing into that, when did you guys take your first trip?
First trip
Was our moose hunt?
was a moose hunt. I
Our
think it
moose
was.
hunt.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
And I'm not sure how that come about or how it.
I'll tell you how it came about.
How?
We're driving to a stand, and we're like, this would be cool to do a moose hunt. Absolutely cool to do a moose hunt. You're like, I'd like to do a moose hunt. Well, sure enough, we signed up for a moose hunt.
Yeah.
And the way we went, and we had a ball. So,
We did. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Where did you go?
We went to the Yukon.
Yeah.
Is
So
this
to
is
the
it
Yukon territory?
Chris and I just got pictures. We don't know if these are
Man, look how young you are.
Yeah, then you too, brother. So there's a really cool story here. So we went to.
Is this the first trip?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, and you guys both killed?
Yes.
Wow.
And
Okay, go ahead.
And I should have. And there's another story behind this, but that deer I should have, or that moose I should have killed. So day 4. So this is unbelievable. So day 4, I have a guide by the name of Dave. He has a Joel. So there's Joel and Joel.
Yeah, I was Joel.
And we had river and we had lake. So he chose river, I chose lake. And I'm with Dave on day 4, and we call that moose in 3 miles away. Here it comes, you know, and we're like, okay, it comes out into the lake, and I'm on sticks with a muzzleloader. I'm like, Dave, this is a big moose. I've never moose hunted, but I never knew what a big moose. He goes, oh no, we can kill bigger than that. Don't shoot. Jesus. Don't shoot. And I'm like, are you serious? 10 minutes. I'm literally on him, 150 yards. Don't shoot. I'm like, okay, trusting my guide. Go to bed that night, get up. Joel takes the lake, I take the river. Right?
So you guys flip-flopped.
We flip-flop.
Okay.
And about 11 o'clock, boom,
You guys hear a shot?
I hear a shot. So we come back at lunch. I got a big one. I'm like, good. I said, by chance, did it have an 18-inch kicker on the left? And he goes, matter of fact, it did. Matter of fact, it does. And I'm like, okay. So that's day 5.
Okay.
That moose missed the world record muzzle loader by 4 inches. True.
No, it didn't.
No, it's true. Yeah, it did. Yeah. When we had it measured, yeah, it was 4 inches shy of the world record. Fact.
Do you know that?
No.
No, it's fact.
I
It's
mean,
absolute
Joel,
fact.
when I saw the pictures of these, I'm like, those are serious. I don't know moose, but
It's fact. It's fact.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
No.
it's fact.
Didn't know that.
So we laugh. So that's day 5. It's a 10-day hunt. We don't see a moose for clear up till day 10.
okay.
Right? My guy, Dave, ran into the tent, and then we never saw him again. He was shook up. So day 10, this is the best part about this story. We're in a field. We're off the river. Joel's there, and Joel's there. And Joel goes,
forgot about that.
let me try to call it. So he's over there.
This is Joel.
This Joel.
This Joel.
Not the other Joel. And we're laughing, and he's getting in tune. And all at once, wah, wah. And here comes, we named him Marty. So here comes Marty, comes down off a hill, and it was 175 yards, and set him down like a dog sitting down, just boom.
You're kidding.
No,
You called him in?
He called him in.
Yes.
So yeah. So
I forgot
so
about
every
that.
time I see that moose, I'm like, and we laugh about it because there's another story with a whitetail. It's very similar.
Let's talk about our the camp cook.
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
So you guys, what year was this?
Oh boy.
Do you remember roughly? Give me some rough number. Come on. 2000.
Probably 13, 14 years ago, if I was to guess.
13, 14 years ago.
Let's go that.
Roughly.
Yeah.
And
We age gracefully.
yeah,
Yes.
that's right. You guys look good.
In the Yukon territory.
And the Yukon territory.
We flew into Whitehorse.
Whitehorse.
Yeah, we flew into Whitehorse.
Very good.
Whitehorse into a lake
Yep.
somewhere.
At that time, how did you guys get 2 tags? Is it did you have to buy them through an outfitter?
It was through them.
Through an outfitter.
Through the outfitter.
Yeah.
So who set the trip up?
Gosh, I don't remember.
I had contacted McMillan River Adventures and
You said, "Hey Ron, do you want to?"
Yep.
And then Ron said, "Yeah, hell yeah, I do."
Yep.
And then you shot his moose.
Yep.
So the morning that happened.
I
We
mean, I
get-
didn't know I shot your moose.
Oh yes, you did.
I
Oh,
mean,
yes, you
it-
did. We laughed about it. We've laughed.
But
about
I
it.
mean, but it wasn't like, oh, there's the moose you passed
No,
on.
you
I'm not
didn't
going to
know.
shoot him. Sorry
No,
about your luck.
No,
I mean,
no,
okay.
you didn't know.
Yeah.
But you knew when I said, was there a 18-inch kicker off the left? You're like, matter of fact, it is. I'm
So
like,
do you think there's a reason why that guide was not letting you shoot him? Do you think, like, looking back on that story?
I know
Dave was
why.
kind of greenhorn.
Okay,
Dave
why-
was
why?
kinda
the
greenhorn.
previous year, it was his first year, and he had called a customer off or onto a moose. He said, shoot it. And it was the president of the Texas Trophy Hunters.
I
And it was
remember that story.
And it was a yearling. So really small.
So he was like,
he was scared.
he was like scared
Like,
to
I
death.
don't want to make a decision.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It happens.
And I mean, you guys don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm saying this for you. Did you know moose going out there? Like, did you know what
No,
a big?
the first time.
Yeah, you're just
the
like
first time I heard, or they were like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "No." I mean, it's
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like a big rumble right
Yeah.
from the chest, but
Whoa.
very
you know, and it might be
high-pitched.
and I mean, my guide was Joel Penner, and he was good. And we would, when we would do a setup, we would sit there for about 30 minutes. He said a lot of people will call and then pick up and leave. So we're river hunting. And so anywhere there was like an oxbow, a jut out like that, we would stop and we would do a setup and call. And we would sit there for 30 minutes because he said they will come from 3 to 4 miles away.
Oh my gosh.
And there were times that we sat there for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden it would be like he would tap me or whatever, and because if we're doing a river hunt and they would still be up on the, they would still be up on the
hillside.
hillsides, and then so moose hunting is not like whitetail hunting. It's not like a pre-rut and a post-rut so they basically do 2 10-day seasons. They do 10 days, roughly September the 5th to the, 2 10-day seasons in September. And so basically they make it so the last 5 days of our hunt is good and the first 5 days of the second hunt is good.
What's the 2 10 days? What is that? One's the
Our
rut.
hunt was it.
One's
No, there is no.
there's-
It's basically they get it on for these 10 days and it's over.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we were there the first 10-day hunt, I believe, and it's basically you just make mental notes of where you see cows. So like we would see a cow here and a cow here. So there's a good chance during the end of our 10-day hunt that they're coming down and
Because elk have, I know we're talking about moose. Elk have harems, right? Moose are seeking.
They're seeking.
Okay, they're seeking.
they're seeking.
So you're when you're calling, you're replicating cows. Is that what happens?
So I mean, it was a fine line because if you're replicating if you're just doing a cow call, which is kind of if you're doing a cow call, and if he is with a cow, that cow is going to like take him away. So it's kind of, you would they would have, do the boat paddle and the raking and and all that,
and they do come. They do come.
And they do come, man. And I mean, they're not sneaky. They sound like a bulldozer coming through the woods.
I mean, my God, they have to.
Yeah.
So what's the process like? You kill them, and then what?
My guide, whenever I shot it, he said, an old man that taught me how to hunt. He said, it's about like, he said, moose hunting's kind of like jerking off. After you pull the trigger, you got a mess on your hands.
It makes sense.
And it is. Yeah. So the rule is
you got to have tissue somewhere.
It's an all day thing.
It's an all-day
You're basically
thing.
So
Butchering.
mine was laying in trees, and so it's not like you're rolling them over like a whitetail to take a picture. So mine has an actual chainsaw mark on his antlers from me cutting the growth out from under him.
And you nicked the antler?
And I hit his freaking antler.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I mean, moose, I'm guessing 1,500 pound.
I would say that's a good guesstimation.
Is that? So you guys you're quartering them out or whatever you're doing, and then you're skinning them, you're gutting them,
and I'm saying that the hide is an inch thick,
exactly.
3/4 of an inch.
I mean, the hide's got to
thick.
weigh 100. Hide's got to weigh 150 pounds.
I'd say the hide weighs 150 pounds.
So, and the law is you have to take 95% of the meat off of the carcass, or else you were fined at the time $10,000 for the hunter, $10,000 for the outfitter. He loses his license for a lifetime.
Oh my gosh!
So when he says
I like that,
it's a mess. But it's a full day stripping.
I mean, we took ribs and yummy. We took everything.
Were they not good?
The ribs were not. I mean, we were all excited, and we did ribs, and that would kind of roll into our camp cook.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, I think we were Oh, this will tell when our hunt was, because we were searching for Osama bin Laden.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Like,
can you look that up?
Like, the search was on for Osama bin Laden, and we got to camp, and Ron's like, I think we found Osama bin Laden. Like, he was our cook.
Yeah. He looked just like him.
Oh God, the cook
was Osama bin Laden.
Yeah. And his name was Marty.
And
his name was Marty.
So you guys are backpacking all the? I mean,
it's a riverboat hunt.
Oh, okay, okay. Then you put it on the boat. You take it back to camp, unload. Okay, now I'm getting the picture.
Yep.
Okay.
So it was. They were Honda jet motors. Had no propeller. It was done by intake water and just pressure, and it was like a non-stop battle working on them things. And yeah.
What was the lodge like? Lodging?
We were in tents.
Canvas tents.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were in tents.
Canvas
with a wood
platform.
floor. Wood floor platform.
Nice.
It was good.
You guys were out straight up in the sticks.
Yes, we were.
How far off
We
from?
saw snow.
Absolutely.
We had snow.
Yep.
How far off from the beaten path were? I mean, how far off from the path were you? How far did you have to walk to get to camp?
So we went. So if here was Whitehorse, there was a lake nearby that basically almost like taxis going off of this lake. So we went and got on a boat, made a circle, a float plane, and then you take off a float plane, and then we went in a long ways, and then we landed on a little lake that we could then just off that little lake. Probably the river system was here, so then off that little lake, we just kind of went through some stuff, and boom, there's camp.
Gotcha.
Right on the river.
We were in between in a fingerling between the lake and the.
Yeah. It was perfect.
It was absolutely perfect.
Sounds like an awesome trip.
Oh, it's an awesome trip.
Yeah.
Was that the only trip you guys ever did together?
We did Illinois together, and
But I mean, at the time, we probably did that. It was like maybe 15,000 or something, and now they're like 30 and 40.
Yeah, and that 15 would have been flights and all, because it was
everything.
Everything, right?
So
and now it's just out of control.
Marty the cook. I mean, what's the story with Marty the cook?
This guy was. I mean, they were all from Manitoba. So
Edmonton.
they drove to the Yukon and then ran these camps and everything. And Marty, like, so when our cook, he did have a big giant beard before, and he cut it off or whatever. That's why I was saying he looked like Osama bin Laden before he cut his beard
What year,
off before
Chris?
camp.
I mean, the search was between 2001 to 2011.
So around 2011, do you guys think it was around 2011?
I would say
14 years ago.
14.
I'd say that's probably
Close.
pretty close.
Yeah.
But so at the time he was there as our cook, his wife was marijuana harvesting season.
Okay.
And she was doing the harvest while he was there. And I mean, I'm saying like 200 or 300 plants or something, wasn't it? Or
7 acres.
7 acres of
he's,
marijuana.
He's walking around shaking his head like this. Like, what's wrong with you? And you would smell. He wasn't allowed to bring marijuana. But he brought the oil.
How many did he say he smoked from Manitoba to Yukon? I mean, he said he smoked them all because I wasn't allowed to smoke them.
Yeah, but he had the oil, right?
Okay.
So he's nervous wreck. Like, what's wrong with you? He goes, my babies, with that Edmonton or whatever Canadian accent, my babies. I'm like, what? You're too old for babies. He goes, no, Ron. He goes, my pot. I'm like, how much do you grow? 7 acres, Ron, and it's going to be frosting tonight. And so he was worried that his wife couldn't get his babies in
right.
and keep them warm, right?
Yeah.
But 7 acres. And we go, well, what do you do with 7 acres of pot? He goes, we smoke it.
No,
Yes.
really?
And he showed us pictures, cigar wrappers rolled. They were like this, joints.
Oh,
no little bitty joints.
Yeah.
Big, remember? Like Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong style.
Cheech and Chong style.
But I mean,
Love it.
The best thing was, when you're with somebody for 10 days, the stories start, like he's feeling us out. He might not say much. And then day by day, the stories get a little better and a little better.
Yeah.
And I will never forget, Ron, Ron's good about being inquisitive and quizzing without the person knowing it. And Ron would ask, so have you done anything besides marijuana? And he said no. And then about a minute went by and he goes, all right, I can't lie. I've done some acid before.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you remember the story
and
behind the
story? Oh my Lord.
So his buddy gives
I can't
him
believe
acid.
we're telling acid stories on.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
Well, so his buddy gives him acid. His wife comes home from work. She doesn't know he took the acid.
Right.
She goes, we have to go. He's like, what do you mean?
They
we have
were
to go?
going to visit their niece
in the children's hospital.
in the children's hospital.
So he's buzzing all the way there. His wife doesn't know, and he goes, I get on the elevator.
No. So to back up, he had done a hit of acid, and an hour went by, and he didn't feel nothing.
So he
had
took
happened,
another
and he
hit.
did another hit.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he had done 2.
He'd done 2. So he goes, they opened up the elevator, and he goes, what do I see? I see Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. He goes, next thing I know, they're chasing me down the hall. Didn't he? And his wife's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not
You
good.
have a Osama bin Laden accent going on, not a Canadian
Yeah, I
accent.
don't know. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, but he was
love
something. So we named my moose Marty.
Marty.
So
I
that's why-
got you.
that's why Marty.
where the name come from.
Yeah, that's where he comes from.
Marty the cook.
Yeah.
Marty
Good.
the cook was something else, man. Whoa.
Good.
Remember when he was real gray, pasty face that one day? We thought he was like going down.
Yeah, we thought he was going to die.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll move on from.
No, that's great. Let's take a quick 5-minute break and then let's jump back on. I want to talk about Mr. 211 and Mr. 198 and
We can do that.
Real quick, we'll talk about the Illinois trip.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean after the break.
Oh yeah. We'll let's go on the break because I want
then
another
we'll talk
drink.
about Illinois.
Yeah. Yep. Sound good. Break. All right, we're back. Everybody good?
We're good.
We're back. So we ended with
Who says that?
So do you guys know they canceled Howard Stern?
No.
I mean, I saw posts that said it was a possibility
No,
of
they
being
canceled
canceled.
him. My dad told me last night at the fair that they canceled Howard Stern officially.
Did
I
they say
don't
why?
like that guy.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
Probably just the his line of questioning and
Yeah.
he's got some you pull up some of his videos, he has some like 20, 30 years ago. You want to talk about the kind of questioning that he was asking and making fun of women and, saying things that are inappropriate. He's number one contender for that,
right. Joe Rogan's taking over his
Yeah,
spot.
I love Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Like
Love him.
Stephen Colbert had 100 political guests, and I think there was one Republican. I don't even know if there was one Republican.
Doubtful.
Huh?
Doubtful.
Yeah, you cut off 50% of the population.
I mean, correct. He's like funneled his audience till
Right.
it didn't work out for him real well. Yeah.
So we kind of left the break before. Go ahead and let's talk about the Illinois trip, and then I want to lead into the monsters around me.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we'll kind of talk about the way. So
You guys lead it. I'll just sit here.
So well, first off, we'll talk about how Illinois came about or whatever. So, so I had we talk about the TV people that hunted with me and everything, and North American whitetail hunted with me, and Stan hunted with me. Stan and I became pretty close, and Stan hooked me up with Greg Ritz, Thompson Center muzzleloaders, and
Horton bows.
Greg had at the time Rivers Bend Outfitters in Kentucky.
Okay.
It was Rivers Bend Outfitters in Kentucky, and it was Crittenden County, and it was pretty much right on the Ohio River, and it was a pretty sweet property. And I think Greg and Realtree, you were seeing lots of Bill Jordan and everything at this place during that time. And so Greg kind of took the lead, ended up taking the lease over and running the place. And Stan wanted to hook, like I think Greg was looking to expand. Stan hooked me up. I went down one year, met Greg, went down the next year, met Greg. We kind of talked, hit it off, and so we were going to kind of join forces between Kentucky and Ohio. And
Like sharing clientele?
yes,
Or, okay.
yes. So
What year was this?
And I was going to be and then I would be running everything.
What year was this?
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
Guess.
so I would say 12, 13 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that.
Right.
So we're ready to do this and everything, and the property is selling in Kentucky.
There's only one giant property in Kentucky?
It was 10,000 acres.
Oh, God.
And it was owned by, I believe, the Kimball Piano Company.
Okay.
And I think they, at one time, I believe before that, I think it was Alcoa. But basically it was companies, I think, owned it for logging purposes for their business and everything. So it was going to sell and be sold off in parcels. So, Greg had all of this clientele and everything now with no place to hunt. So then come, transferring people here, and then we added Illinois. And it was Clinton, Illinois.
Clinton Lake.
You added
Clinton Lake. We added
Illinois.
a lease in Illinois.
because the Kentucky lease was going away.
Correct.
Okay.
And it was,
And you were supposed to run.
and it was a big. So there was also a person that was. We'll just say Tim. We'll give Tim a shout out. Tim's another Tim.
Not Tim Woods.
Nope,
No.
not
Okay.
Tim Woods. And Tim is like really big into carvings and everything of stuff for the NWTF for turkey. Whenever there's at the NWTF convention, there's like carvings and stuff. He's the guy. He's huge into that.
Yep.
As Tim is, and so he was going to be he was running that, and now he's going to be running that in Kentucky, in Illinois.
So the Kentucky property's out.
Kentucky property is now gone,
Gotcha.
and it had a building on it and everything, or it had like a double wide on it. So we paid and had the double wide moved, and we did a lot.
Yep.
And And so the Clinton Lake property was a power plant. And, somewhat the problem is it was a large piece, but, after operating it for 1 year, you could tell that you were having to take more people to pay for the place than what could be harvested
what was
there.
actually there.
Than what could be harvested there. And so...
How big was the lease in Illinois?
I couldn't even tell you. 4,000
okay.
acres.
That's fine.
3,000,
I was
4,000
just
acres,
trying to get a
I think.
feel.
It was cut up in grids, too.
And it was cut up in different pieces all around it. There were places you couldn't go because it was an active power plant. There were sections that you couldn't go on here, you couldn't go on here. But, so because there were areas that you couldn't go, there's kind of just a breeding ground for big deer and stuff. But waterfowl out the ass. So if you have a giant lake that is a nuclear plant and the water's warm all the time and never freezes, it just slams full of waterfowl.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. And so I kind of then got some of my good customers to, hey, you want to go on a Illinois hunt?
Yep.
So Ron had never killed a whitetail with his muzzleloader.
Okay.
Had never killed a whitetail with his muzzleloader, correct?
And at that time, Joel did not know that.
At that time, I did not know that. No.
No.
So
you had been all bow or
Bow only.
shot
Yeah,
or
yeah,
bow.
yeah.
Bow.
When I was a kid, it was shotgun.
Okay.
And bow.
Yep.
but I had been involved with a lot of the setup of all of the stands and the properties, and the skankarellas hunted there. And so there was standing beans on this one area, a lake, butted up to a lake, standing beans. And I'm excited. Ron's got his muzzleloader in hand, and Ron can now take over the story. We're hunting these standing beans.
There were standing beans,
Yeah.
and Joel has the camera.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm filming.
Why were you filming? Because
we were buddies. He goes, let's just take the
Yeah.
camera and go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
So we get up in these cattails, we get it all set up, and sure enough, here they come piling off the field.
You're in a tree, right? You guys are.
we're on the ground.
Oh, you're on the
Cattails.
ground. You're in the cat.
Yeah,
When
we're
you
in
said
cattails.
I
We're
wanted
in
to
the-
confirm that. Okay.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
on the ground.
We're on the ground, and we cut out a little shooting lane. Here comes this nice buck. Tons of does, nice bucks, but here comes a shooter buck. And we're watching it come, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, what do you think? And I'm like, because that's up to you. And I'm like, we can go bigger. There's got to be some stuff here bigger. So the deer literally comes up within, 15 yards of us.
This buck that was out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Literally walks from 150 yards, 200 yards, walks right up to us, and I'm on this
that
stick.
close?
Oh, yeah. It was. Yeah, we could have. Yeah. And
Should have brought my bow.
I should know. And so he sneaks around us, and doesn't see us. And Joel's filming, and I'm going, you think we should? No, I don't know. We'll just wait. And he's leaving it up to me. And I'm
Do
like,
you remember how big this buck was?
I could show you on the wall how big this buck was.
Oh.
It was
okay.
150s.
He's a 150-inch 8-pointer.
Oh my god! And
Yeah.
you passed on a. Okay, I'll let you tell the story. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I did, thinking we're in Illinois.
Yep.
So
He has two 200-inchers. We're trying.
I know.
So the deer comes around, and I'm like, So he meanders off. I look at Joel, and I'm like, I should have shot that. That'd have been my nice muzzle loader. He goes, you've never killed a buck with a muzzle loader? Why didn't you shoot that deer? And I'm like, we were just looking, right? We're trying to get a big one. And all at once he looks at me, and he goes, I'm coming back next week, and I will kill that deer. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. Because he was coming back with the next weekend. And you take it from there.
So Illinois season goes out January the teens or something like that, and so I was going to go up. I think it was just me there by myself, and Mark Wimpy drove up and met me and filmed me, and so we're basically in a blind in we were in a blind in cattails, and we're slammed right against the water. The cattails are against the water, and we're sitting there, and deer start feeding in the beans, and here that deer comes out, and it was I think I shot him at 62 or it was 60 something. And I shot him, and it must have been maybe a little bit back or something.
What you were bow hunting?
With compound. Yep.
Okay.
Bow hunting.
62?
This is bow hunting. Yes.
Wow.
And so he kind of goes out in the field a little bit, and he boom, he like lays down. And I remember it starts getting dark, and we're just waiting for him to put his head down. And then next thing I know, we hear coyotes howling. And we are in the blind, and we're filming, and coyotes come out and start circling him.
Oh, no.
While we're in the blind.
No.
And then finally, as it's getting dark, and they're ready to pounce on him, and then we get out of the blind and get out of here and run him off and everything. And I think about that time, I don't recall having to put another arrow in him. I think he kind of expired on his own.
He died.
Yeah.
So he calls me.
Okay.
Guess what happened? I mean, you killed that deer. He goes, I sure did.
And I said, "Hey, man, it was way more meaningful with a bow than with a muzzleloader." I tried to make him feel better about it.
My God, what did you say it scored? What do you roughly think it scored?
He was a 150-inch 8-pointer.
Yeah.
It's a big 8
Yeah,
point.
That's a big 8 point. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we passed. So yeah.
So did you guys did anything during your hunt? Did anything else ever come out?
No.
Or nothing ever happened? Did you have a great hunt?
Yeah, I had a fun.
Did you have
What was that hunt? Like a
three-day
three-day
muzzleloader.
3-day muzzleloader. That's right.
Yeah.
Like a Friday,
the only
Saturday,
thing happened
Sunday.
was my roommate. I had a roommate then. The guy that was crazy. Had the silk pajamas, red silk pajamas.
Was he Santa
Did
Claus?
he sell insurance, car insurance?
Red silk pajamas.
Yeah, and I told you, I'm like, you get me out of this room. I slept on the couch the next day.
Was he weird?
That's who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to say any names.
It was a customer, but yeah. It was
Customer of yours?
Yes.
Currently
That
still a customer?
No. We ended up parting ways. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
What was without saying names, what was the problem with him? Was he just weird, or what was the...
I don't think he was. I think it was just his style. He wasn't that kind of weird, but it was just weird being in a room with.
Yeah, just
No,
somebody a little bit different.
A little different.
The problem is he had like 3 slots or 4 slots or whatever with me, 3 slots say, and nice Joel doesn't have a deposit yet, but he's coming, and then he's just going to bring it when he comes, and then we're like 2 weeks from the hunt, and he doesn't come.
No,
and I have zero money from him.
Dipped out on you.
I forgot that.
Yeah,
I forgot.
So that was the end of the person after that.
Yeah, good riddance at that point.
Yeah,
right.
No shit, right?
Yeah.
So how long did the Ron? I have a question for you, but I got a question for Joel
So
first.
then,
how long did that carry on? The Illinois.
So then, basically after 1 year,
you were like,
A year? Yeah.
it may have went 2, but basically after 1 year, I was like, this place doesn't pencil out.
This isn't going to yield.
No, this place doesn't pencil out.
Because you've talked about
we have to take X amount of people to carry this place, and we can't shoot that many deer here.
That's something I've always respected about Joel's, because he's always talked about, I have to have I at least have to have the deer for my hunters every year, or I'm not taking that amount.
I mean, if you take 40, I mean, I want to have
60.
I want to have 40 or 50 4.5-year-old deer. I mean,
you want to have
my goal to be 100%.
Yeah,
and then whenever you kill, the best is when you have properties, and then the first deer you kill is a complete stranger. You're like, yes, I don't, and then you kill another deer, complete stranger.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there was property last year, in Champaign County. I mean, like I killed 3 or 4 and didn't know one of them,
awesome.
man. That's the best.
Crazy.
So,
That's
Ron,
awesome.
my question for you is,
Yes.
other than Joel or the Illinois trip or whatever, have you ever hunted with any other outfitters for whitetails outside of Joel?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And there's a huge difference between them.
That's what I was going to ask. What were some of the differences?
I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
What were some of the
I
differences?
kind of feel like you cheated on me.
No.
Did you cheat on Joel?
No. So I did a lot of stuff in Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So
That's right. I remember
because
that.
in Ohio here, like I mentioned before, I had property till
A
development
name just came to me. Was it Ron Nemechek?
No,
Oh, it was not Ron Nemechek.
no, it was I can't remember the name.
Northway Outfitters.
Northway Outfitters. Yeah,
I think, which is Ron. I'm pretty sure that was the owner of Northway Outfitters, but I could be wrong. But
I think he may have been the second owner.
okay,
May have been.
Okay.
Either way,
Did you have luck?
I did. I shot a couple nice deer. I got shot at there.
that's right.
You got
Yeah,
what?
I
Forgot about that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I got shot at with a high-powered rifle. Yeah, so
Just like
So there's lots of Indian reservation stuff up there.
oh, and
So we were on a new area called Duck Lake, and we we set it up. Come to find out, the elders had approved it. The younger generation had not. So opening day, there's 4 hunters in camp. One of them was in a wheelchair, and the young group decided to push the bush and just shoot the bush up, and shoot at the white shacks that we were in, the 4x4x4 cubes that you sit in. And I literally looked scope to scope with a guy.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? I got out of the hut. They shot the hut that the guy in the wheelchair was in. He couldn't get out because you have to literally pick it up and put it down, and there was a bullet hole
Oh my
in
gosh.
his wheelchair. Yeah, missed his leg by. Yeah, it was a tough hunt. So I've had good outfitters, I've had great outfitters, and I've had ones that you go,
Never again.
youth is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any other whitetail hunting in the States though, outside of Joel, or just okay?
Nope.
Gotcha.
All right, I
Mule deer
feel a little less cheated
He's
on.
don't feel like
I
he's
feel a little less
vindicated.
cheated on.
He is absolutely vindicated.
Love
yeah,
that.
but you know what? I'll go back to the question you asked earlier about the transition of Joel.
Yes.
So that whole experience that he's sharing with the Illinois deal, he and I would talk. And my biggest concern, because at the end of all of this, I became friends with Joel. We became friends together, and it wasn't a customer. And I got to the point where I wasn't a customer anymore. I didn't feel like a customer. And my concern for him at the time, the amount of work he was having to carry to pick up for all the other dynamics that was going on at that time in those properties.
Yeah.
He's not telling the whole story, but he knew enough. He put 100% in. He put 100% in here. It was wearing him out, and it was physically, mentally, but he was in, right? But he knew when to say strategically, "I'm done."
Yeah.
Right. So no matter what the cost was, I'm done.
Backing the numbers down.
Backing the numbers down, maybe backing a relationship down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. But he did the right thing for his business.
Yeah.
Right. And for himself. So I admired that again. It was one of those things, and I was worried about him. I mean, he's trucking off with trailers full of stuff.
I think I know what we're talking about.
Greg and I were, we were similar people, me and Greg, and both young people that loved whitetail and loved. Greg was more of a businessman than I was, and Greg, I think, had a vision of taking whitetail businesses and turning, turning revenue and profit with it and everything. And I guess that that's just where the path probably changed for me when it was more about relationships and big deer with me.
I think we're talking about like corporate versus family owned type of feel.
Pretty
right?
much.
That's
That's
a
kind
good
of
way to
where
say it.
that's
Corporate versus
pretty
family
much where it kind of, it kind of, and I mean, we parted ways good and everything, and I mean, Greg and I's friends, and I mean, we went, we went on a couple of vacations together, or took kids, to parks together, his kids and my kids, and but just. I just saw that I saw 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds being shot with this model and plan, and that wasn't Joel's model and plan.
Yes.
And so, unfortunately, the plan with the with the bigger deer, that plan unfortunately takes kind of a minimal amount of hunters.
Right.
And, and I kind of just figured out, I finally, after, 15 years or 18 years or whatever, I kind of figured out the model to make a living and take just the minimum people and enough bucks make it through the cracks that you are constantly chasing giants every year.
Right. And you get to the point where he loves for people to kill big deer.
Yeah.
More so than himself.
Right.
I mean, there were years where you didn't even have a hunting license.
We talked about it. There was like a 10-year stretch.
And I'm like, why?
I mean,
I didn't understand
there
that.
were
Yeah,
times I felt like I was doing deer recoveries, and I was like, I should probably at least buy a hunting license to be
Right.
Think about
Doing
that.
a deer recovery. Yeah.
Just to be in the field, right? Yeah.
So we won't.
Yeah.
Talk about
No.
that. Maybe
No.
they'll look me up and backdate me
I
on
don't
stuff.
think
But I
that
mean,
makes- you weren't doing anything wrong. You were just
I mean, whenever. And what's funny is you send the pictures of that one, and I'm up there, and I can see like the big old red man chaw in my mouth and everything, and it was like my wife would kill me if she saw this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did not like the red man chaw.
I get it.
No.
First time I ever tried Red Man, I was in the blind with Joel. We did the
Now
last.
you're like the Zen master. So I'm the one that started it all.
No, I actually did Red Man 2 years after you, but like I was in the blind, and it was like the second hunt I'd ever filmed for Joel, and like I remember I was like 16, 17, and he like offered me Red Man. I never had it, so I'm like, well, I have to do it. And,
Yeah.
I just remember like 5 minutes in feeling like really sick and not good about it, and I spit it out, and we were, like it was like
I
this-
remember distinctly.
Yeah.
And do you remember because so most of my hunting was late season was the only time I
This
hunted.
was the last day or the second to last day.
And there were times that if I had just put the chaw in 15 minutes ago and I know I'm going to get in the blind tomorrow, I would take it out and wedge it in the corner.
In the corner of the blind.
And then I would put it back in when I got in tomorrow.
I use it.
Yes.
And it was still good.
It's like, hey, it's like country concert. He throws his in on the ground. He's like looking for it. I'm like, I'll give you another one. Jeez.
That is
Ooh,
funny.
I don't know about those Zens, man.
So
Is that what that is?
yes, yeah.
Pouch.
It's just
Yes.
a little. It's nicotine, salt, and food flavoring. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's just it's the healthiest thing you can do to get nicotine right now.
Well, there's new research as of yesterday that nicotine actually helps with Alzheimer's.
Thank you. I've been saying that.
I've said that for a while.
Yeah, we've
that's
talked. They had talked
It's,
about that for a couple years.
yeah,
I don't know if
it-
anybody
it-
actually did a study.
Oh, they
but
did.
Well, that's
They
what
did.
killed
And
my
it is-
grandma and my mom, so you better give me a Zen.
Do you want one? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want you over here falling off the chair on the podcast.
I need to start with like a 1.
That's
That's
not a thing.
3.
I
That's all you
know.
got.
I've done the 3, and like my world
You
starts
can't
spinning with those
drink.
3s.
Maybe you should start out without not drinking. But
All right.
so let's jump into. I mean, we have. I think it's kind of cool to say, sitting at this table, we have four 200-inch bucks. I know we got 198, but we have 4 200-inch bucks sitting at this table between Joel and Ron. I think that's awesome. I think that's pretty
incredible.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, can we kind of dip into which one was first? This was first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
can you?
absolutely.
I mean, can you kind of give us the story as you
I
remember it,
can.
Ron?
I can
Yeah,
remember
give
it
it
like
to
it
us.
was
He'll
yesterday.
have definite
Give it.
details.
Yeah,
I can give you the exact details almost to the step.
And this was in 2005. Okay.
Right. Yep.
And then this one was in 2009.
And 9.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Tell us
Yeah,
the story.
4:10 p.m.
What? I love that.
4:10
4:10 p.m. and he left me, in the woods at 2:30.
Okay.
So that's how this goes. So
November the 14th on this guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
November 14th, and we had hunted all day.
So
in the
before
morning.
you take over, I will. The property was a man who I had met, and he, probably one of the best farms in Logan County, and he just we became friends. He was an elder gentleman, and he was basically the superintendent of Ohio high schools. Like he was the
above them all.
he was the superintendent of Ohio schools.
Okay.
And he lived in Greenville, Ohio. But he had, I think, was working out of Columbus, and then he bought that farm to be closer to Columbus.
Gotcha.
And he had a group of friends that hunted the farm, but they all kept getting older, and they're now in their 80s, and some of them have passed away, and some have passed away. So he had given me foot in the door that became, I could hunt some, and I could hunt it a little more and a little more. And, and I had been all over the property and kind of had stuff picked out, but I didn't have full range yet. But I had kind of had stuff picked out.
Yep.
So that's when Ron can take over.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Hunted that morning, different property. So Joel and I are talking. He said, I've got a spot I want to try. I'm like, I'm in. I'll follow you. Let's go. So we loaded up a stand and some sticks, and we take up this ravine that is literally straight up, and we're crawling over rocks and fallen trees.
All about access.
It is, yeah. At the time, it was rough access, right? Rough access. And we get to the top of the ravine, and there's a tree, and he goes, right there. And I'm looking at this tree, and it's on the edge of the ravine, right?
Boy.
So I'm holding
holding
the saw, and we got all of our stuff. And there was somebody else with us. I can't remember, younger guy.
AJ?
No, it was way before AJ. So either way. So Joel, like he does, can go up the side of a tree like there's nobody's business. Yeah, and he's hanging sticks, and away we go, and he keeps going. Toss me more sticks. Toss me more sticks. The stand is sitting at that moment when it stops at 30 feet. Oh yeah, I've measured it. I've been, and that's 30 feet on the edge of a ravine, right? So we get everything trimmed out, and we're trying to be quiet, and he's like, he goes, I'm sneaking out. Good luck. And away he goes, and he goes out of sight.
We didn't prune much, did we?
No, didn't prune hardly anything. So he leaves me at 2:30. I mean, I literally on the watch. And I'm sitting there for a few minutes, and then about 4 o'clock. I hear tink, 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 and it's antlers coming through the brush behind me. To my right, and first I see a doe. She comes out to the trail. She hangs her right and goes away from me. So this is 40 yards in the brush, and this part's not trimmed out.
You're right on the edge of
thick bedding, ravine, opens up into some big timber on the other side of the creek. And I look behind her, and all I see is rack.
Yeah.
He's coming through, and I know he's going to follow her. He gets to the edge of the trail. I have no shot. And he turns to follow her. I have no shot. And I'm like, biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. For some reason, 3 steps after he turns right, he stops. And he turns completely 180. And I'm thinking he's going to go back in the hole. And he takes 3 steps towards me, quartering. At this point, I go to full draw, and I popped him in the front shoulder, angling towards me. So it was left shoulder, quartering 2 on the left side, top of the shoulder, out the back.
Yeah.
So we got lungs.
Beautiful shot.
So here's where I think it's a beautiful shot.
Okay.
So he turns.
I don't remember any of this.
Oh my gosh. He turns and takes after the doe like he's not hit, like a bull, just out of sight over the hill that we walked in on next to the ravine.
Okay.
And I'm like, surely I could not have missed that deer. And I look and I hear snort, and here he comes back at me, full tilt, just hard charging, and turns in the hole that he came out of. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? He went in about 10 yards and
flopped over dead.
Topped over dead.
Did you see him fall over?
Oh, yeah. Saw
right. You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. It was I thought I missed it. Joel found the arrow the next year, the next spring.
That's right.
Yeah. And he was at 36 yards.
So was it what the shot you thought it was?
It was exactly the shot.
Did you double lung him?
Yeah, well, top of the lung, heart, lower lung, left side, and liver. I mean, he wasn't going nowhere.
Isn't that unbelievable how resilient, How
he
resilient.
basically like had so much of the urge to go after
Yeah.
her, and then he 30 seconds later says, "I'm not feeling real
something's
well."
not good.
No, exactly. But he
Yeah.
never lost that adrenaline, that hard charge, and that was a G5. So
Nice. There you go.
that was a G5.
So then Rick does the mount, right?
yes,
Rick does the mount. Is this a replica?
That is a replica.
This is a replica.
That's
okay.
a replica.
Rick does the mount. You take it to Rick. Does this one end up on the front? Which one ends up on
this one's in Rack Magazine.
Rack Magazine?
The beautiful part about this one is that year Joel shot, and it's got sort of an acorn on that front left
right.
main beam. Right the week before,
And yours and mine they all have 30-inch beams.
30-inch, and that's 30s.
Wow.
Yeah. So that
That's a rarity. A 30-inch
Yeah.
beam is
Yeah.
like yours has 30-inch beams, and that one I stocked in that field had 30-inch
Oh,
beams.
that's the one that we had talked about already.
Yes.
Yep.
One
that was the same.
because
That was the same year as that one,
This
correct?
one,
The
right.
guy
the
you
week
left
before.
out. In the
Yes, same as Cuz.
We got to bring that up again. The guy you left in the ditch raining on, eating
man.
dinner.
Oh yeah, but
So-
yeah, it was it, and both of those deer are in Rack Magazine side by side.
Okay.
He and I together. So it's again one of
Pretty
those.
awesome.
kind of
What
things.
did that buck score that you shot?
Like
this year?
173 and
170.
5/8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful deer.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
beautifully.
so then from 2005 to 2009, did you have much success with Joel?
Yeah, I shot two nice 150s, 160.
Wow.
Yeah, similar, same area.
And then you come back in 2009 and tell us about that week, if you remember the details of going into this guy.
So if I'm in that trench, my visualization of that trench is I could do it blind.
Let's back up about a week prior. So
I'm sorry.
a week prior, I am so Craig Morgan is here.
Okay.
Country singer Craig Morgan.
Yep.
And he didn't something, I don't know. I was the cameraman for Craig.
Okay. I remember
Craig
that.
and I's in the tree, and we are clear at the front of this property. So if Ron killed him, back up in the timber,
Okay.
we're clear at the front, and this thicket starts emptying of deer. Like, here comes a buck, another buck. I'm talking like a 150, another 150, a 140. There's like maybe 7 or 8 bucks out in the field. Like the thicket cleared. And next thing you know, a doe steps out of the thicket and she starts sniffing around, and then he steps out. And Craig Morgan is like, he's blowing that grunt call like he's at the Philharmonic Orchestra. I mean, he's blowing on that thing like it's a tuba or a trombone.
It's on tape.
It's
on
oh my
tape.
gosh!
Yeah.
And I'm like, Craig, I think he heard you. We're good. Don't need to. Yeah.
You know,
It was
He's
constant.
going
Just
and
won't
going
stop.
and going, and I'm like, Craig. I mean, if he heard that,
If he's gonna come, he's gonna come.
He's gonna come. So, and Craig like, dang it, I'm just wanting him to pay attention to that thing. Dang. And he's just, I'm like, no. If anything else, one of these others might come over here. And so, and then I distinctly remember as it's getting dark, I think the other bucks go off. The doe and him turn and go back into the thicket. And I don't know if I've told you that, but it was like a couple minutes go by and we hear like 2 Louisville sluggers hit each
Bam.
other.
Really?
I mean, I do not know what other deer was in the thicket, but there was one left in the thicket that
Went
went to toe to toe with him.
Wow.
And it was like, quack. I mean, like loud. And so then, know he's in the area. We have a couple trail cam pictures of him, and then then comes Ron's week.
Let me interrupt real quick. Did you know this buck was here? Did you know that buck was there?
So
Mr. 211.
Pat Reeve had hunted the year before North American whitetail, and I'm pretty sure Pat filmed that deer the year before in the same vicinity.
Okay.
And like very similar, look a lot like that.
Okay.
And kind of like I don't think this property, they don't like technically are there. There are so many does, they just start showing up. And I think that's probably part of his ritual. Come November, whatever, boom, that's when he rolled in there.
Yep.
And so basically 1 year later, he rolled in there.
So just kind of another follow-up. Did Craig Morgan kill that year?
I don't think so.
He did not kill.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
So then Craig Morgan leaves.
Craig Morgan leaves, and I think Ron's
following
probably the
week. Comes
following
in.
week.
Following week.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
do you start out in this stand or are you somewhere else? Okay.
No.
So what's your week
Hunted
look
all-
like?
Yeah, just been a great week. I mean, you see the 140s, the 150s. It's just constant, right? Great hunt, and it's sort of midweek.
And
Joel-
you have shots at 140s, 150s,
Yeah.
and you're not.
no.
So
Joel will tell you I'm not.
this
Love that.
this tree takes a particular wind, and so you're not. And it seems like we don't get those very much anymore. I mean, it needs some sort of an NW northwest or whatever.
Yep.
And we don't really get a whole lot of these. So
Yep.
I'm sure Ron's laying in bed that week, just saying, "Come on." Northwest.
I'm
Northwest.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the
He's
signal.
probably waiting.
Seriously, I really am, because where it is bedding, right? It is.
It's
thick.
it's against batting.
It's against bedding.
Had you hunted that stand after 2005 before 2009?
Oh, I'm sure he has.
You okay?
many
Okay, I didn't
times.
know.
Yeah,
I didn't know if the
yeah.
wind. Okay,
Yeah.
So then you've hunted all week. You're seeing good deer. You're not killing 140s. You're not killing 150s. And then what happens? There's Ron Lance. How we doing, Ron?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, we were talking a couple minutes before this. I was kind of giving, so for everybody listening or coming into this episode at the tail end of Ron Lance's episode, we ran in about an hour and 45 minutes, and the total episode was about 2 hours and 12 minutes. So we lost, roughly 25 minutes at the end of the episode. Some of the best details of, some stories and some great stuff that Ron was telling us. So I wanted to set it back up, and I didn't want Ron to have to drive all the way up to us. So we wanted to make it, we wanted to make it, this will work. The idea is, just so everybody knows, is that we'll tie it in at the end of the video. It might not be the most perfect, but it's not going to be like I want a smooth transition. I'll just kind of cut it smoothly and then transition what we're talking about, because we're going to try to pick up with where we left off. And so,
Awesome.
yeah,
Just keep Joel away from the plug. That way he doesn't unplug anything.
that's right. That's right. So and I know this is, I hate to ask you to jump back into this just because it's kind of cold, and I'm sure on the podcast you kind of ran into, we start talking and things are going and you kind of loosen up. So now I'm kind of asking you to just come in cold and start talking about this, but we'll, if that's okay.
Good. I'm good. I'm real good.
So
Had a good dinner and great roll.
good. So where we had left off, we had just talked about your first 200-inch buck. You had killed two 200-inch bucks in the same tree stand, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So
4
we
years
were
apart.
4 years apart. So we had just wrapped up the first story, and we were getting into the second story. So I have nothing of the second story. So I'd love to start from the beginning of the second 200-inch deer and kind of walk us through what happened, that story, and kind of go what goes along with that.
All right. Fantastic. Well, it's I've got a special tree that I love, and we've nicknamed it. And it was an early one morning. You got to hunt it out of a north or a northwest wind. And Joel looked at me and said, "Hey, wind's right. Time to go." I'm like, "Okay." So he dropped me off, and up the ravine I went, jumped into the tree, and it's just a sweet spot. It's at the top end of a ravine. It butts up against some really nice bedding area, hardwoods, and it's a climb to get up in there. But it's Joel's got the stand really high, and it's a high trough that gets up in there. So I say 30 feet, he says 25, but it's every bit of 30. But
Right.
but anyhow, it was a beautiful morning, light wind, and just one of those kind of places. It's a special memory. It's like sitting in your favorite chair, and heard some rustling, saw a few does, about 8 o'clock, and morning rolls on, and I hear a tink, 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 tink coming off my left shoulder this time, and I'm sitting down, which I normally don't. My back was hurting that morning. I'll never forget it. And I look over my left shoulder, and here is this monster buck walking 18 yards away, coming right off my left shoulder, and from behind me.
And, were you aware of that deer being there? Was that the deer you were gonna hunt?
Well, I had not seen that deer. I had heard about that deer,
Okay.
but where I heard he was across a 600-acre farm on the other side.
Okay.
So yeah, who knows? And the interesting thing, it was the third week of November, my week before Thanksgiving, and I actually killed both of those deer not only out of the same tree, but 2 days apart, 4 years apart within 2 days.
Wow.
So sort of a crazy experience. But he was by himself at this point, and I'm going, okay, I'm not going to stand up. I'm not going to make much movement. Lifted my bow off the rack and off the hanger, and he's just moseying, nothing real heavy, just nice walk. And I go to full draw on him, 18 yards, and he takes a step forward, and I don't know if he caught me with movement, but he just halfway on a half step, and I let it go right behind the right shoulder, and just both lungs, top of the heart. He went about 40 yards and keeled over.
So
and,
you watched him go over?
No, he was up. He was up in. I heard him. He was right on the other side of this thicket, and yeah, it was quite. At that moment in time, I don't get buck fever. I did when I was a kid, but it hits me afterwards, and I started trembling, and I'm like, Lord, this is another big buck right here, and started trembling in the back. And I called Joel right away, and I said, Joel, we've got another one on the ground, and it was at right about 9:30 or 9:40 in the morning. Because you got to be kidding me, and I'm like, and he's asking all these questions. I'm like, Joel, all I know, buddy, is he's wide and he's long beamed and heavy, and so I stayed in the tree till he got up there, and sure enough, we walked up on him together and shared a pretty special moment.
That's awesome. So did he do the same thing? And so just so everybody knows, when you're watching the video, it's the buck up to the left. That would be the buck. I was looking at the video. It's the buck on the left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
there he is. Yep, there he is. What do you have the other? What's on the other side?
That's number one.
Yep. I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. This technology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your office, by the way?
It is. It is. Yeah.
Looks pretty
home
slick.
base. Yeah. Thanks. So, but yeah, it was a special morning, and it was one of those kind of things when Joel came up there, and a couple other guys were with him. It was just a real special moment. He had seen the deer before, and it was just the right place at the right time, doing the time in the stand, and a special place for me. So,
do you know, just to let you know, we've been talking some statistics on the podcast. These are all estimated, right? I think there's roughly 22 million whitetails in the United States. Of that 22 million, like 8 million are bucks. So of that 8 million, there's a range. Of that 8 million, there's only 2,000 to about 7,200 inch bucks in the whole United States. So
really?
the percentage is like a half of a tenth of a percent of bucks will make it to 200 inch. So it's a very rare thing, and I think it's awesome that you have two 200 inch bucks in the same tree stand, 2 days apart, 4 years apart. It's just, or 2 days apart in the year. And it's unbelievable.
Yeah, the years. Yeah, oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. I've killed several out of that tree, but nothing like those two.
Is that your tree? Is that like your go-to tree when you come?
Yeah, it's like yeah. but it's one of those kind of places. It doesn't get hunted a lot
Yep.
because it's got to be the perfect wind. Because if it's not, you're blowing everything out of that farm.
Right.
So yeah, it's. I've been there many years and not been able to go to that tree. It's
Yep.
just the way it goes.
Right. So
Mother Nature.
I had some notes the last time you and I had we were all together with Joel. I had asked you. You had told Joel and I a story about when you were younger, you and your dad, and I didn't know if you were willing to share that story with everybody on the podcast.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great memory. I'll be glad to share with you. It
Yeah.
was my dad, as I mentioned to you, my dad played an important role in my life. He was my best man at my wedding, one of my best friends that I could have ever asked for. But Dad introduced me to archery when I was 7 years old, and Ben Pearson bow, fiberglass bow. I'd stand on the line indoor targets with him and my uncle Jerry, and I was the kid, right? I was the only kid on their league, and I'd get to shoot 20 yards, and my arrows going like this, kind of thing. And back then there was no compound bows, right? So fast forward, I turned 8. I've been target practicing a lot with my dad, and he goes, "I want you to go deer hunting with me." I'm like, "Okay." So we packed up, and he spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania during that time, and so we crawl up in a tree. Typical. Now this would have been 1968, so I'm dating myself here a little bit. It was an old apple tree of sorts, kind of thing. It had 2x4s in it, 2x4 floor, one seat. So I stood as long as I could, and I ended up going out on a limb and sort of hanging over the limb, and I fell asleep. And he got nervous, and he wakes me up, and he puts me. So my dad's at the time 6'4", 250, big fella. He puts me over his lap, so I fall asleep over his lap, and I feel a nudge. And Corey, when I open my eyes, I'm looking down at 3 deer, and I was just couldn't believe, and he's just sort of pushing me down, whispering, be still," and I can't be still. So he picks me up, stands me beside him, and he reaches for his Fred Bear recurve bow,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, I still got it. Him and my uncle's bows, and HC 300, Bear HC 300. And he goes to full draw, and he's going on these draws, and I am shaking. When I talk about buck fever, as a kid, I'd get it bad. And all at once, it just came out as he get into full draw. "Shoot him, Daddy, shoot him!" And of course, the deer fly. They're gone. He lets the arrow down and just looks at me like, "Have you lost your mind?" You know. So it was just one of those things. And of course, my entire life, that story was told. No matter where we were hunting, he loved to tell that story. But he did not get a deer that night. But we had a memory. That's for sure.
Yeah. Shoot him, Daddy,
So he
shoot
played.
him. I love
Yeah.
that.
And I yelled as top of my lungs, and I didn't even know I had yelled it, and then he
Right.
just lets her down, and, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Just
So
shaking.
that you were 8 years old. You were 8 at that time?
I was
Yeah. That's
8 years
fantastic.
old. You know what? There's not a time, Corey, and I shared this with you guys before. There's not a time that I crawl in the sand that I don't think about my dad.
Yeah.
There's a special memory, and I am so grateful that he not only taught me how to shoot, taught me the love of archery and the sportsmanship of it, but the love of hunting.
Yeah.
And whether it was with a bow and deer, whether it was with a shotgun, whether it was bird hunting or rabbit hunting, he loved to be in the woods. He loved to be in nature, and he taught me that. And it's part of. I was in the DNA business, the cloning business, and honest to God, I believe it's part of my DNA. I really do. I just still at 65 now. I remember him like it was yesterday, and I hope I never forget that feeling inside. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, shoot him, daddy, shoot. Yeah, yeah,
Thanks for sharing that
yeah.
story. I appreciate it.
It's not a problem. I'll tell you one more.
Yeah.
And I think we had talked a little bit about this at one point in the first part of the podcast. You had asked me of my 200-inch deer, which one was my favorite.
Which one's your favorite? Yep. I was going to re-ask it.
It was
Yeah.
my favorite. Yeah, and you know what, Corey, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, it's not either one of those two deer that are up there on the wall. There's a deer downstairs. It's a 161, and my dad had he was in his 80s. He'd gotten really ill. He couldn't hunt anymore, and it wasn't safe for him. But he had always touched base what I was doing, kind of thing. And so I checked in one afternoon. I was just below where my stand is, where I killed those two, just at the bottom of the hill. And just had lunch, and I called him. I said, "Hey, Pop, how you doing? Just checking in." And he goes, "Well, Ronnie," he goes, "I'm in the hospital." I'm like, "You are?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I fell, broke my hip, And I said, "Well, let me pack up. I'll drive to Nashville." He goes, "No, don't you dare. Don't you dare leave the tree." I'm like, "Pop, be serious. Yeah, I need to be there." He goes, "Nope." He said, he goes, "There's nothing you can do here that these people aren't doing and do a whole lot better than you could even do." So he said, "I'm in good hands. You stay there." He goes, "Ronnie, you're going to kill a big buck tonight." And I'm like, "Pop, seriously?" And he goes, "Nope, don't you dare get out of the tree." So I didn't. And that phone call happened at about 5 minutes to 2 in the afternoon. And about 10 minutes after 2, my dad was a big bird guy. I look up at my bow hanging in a tree, and there's a bluebird sitting on my wrist. Now, I don't follow this superstition stuff, but I'm like, that's interesting. I've never had a bluebird, which is one of his favorites, land. And I've got pictures of this. So bird flies off about 10 after 2. I look across the bean field, and this buck, big, nice 10-pointer steps out. He's 110 yards away, and I'm watching him, and like, man, it's a nice deer. And he started to meander around, and I thought, well, if he goes back in, I'm never going to have a shot at him. He wasn't coming to me, but he decided to turn and go into another opening further closer to me, and that opening was 63 yards. And I'm like, if he goes to that opening, I'm going to pop you. I have no problem with 60 yards. And sure enough, and he stopped broadside, and I laced him, and he took about 5 steps and fell over in a ditch. And I called my dad at 2:20. Think about this, it's less than a half hour later.
Yeah.
And I go, "Dad," he goes, "What are you calling me back for? You're supposed to be hunting." And I said, "Well, I just killed your deer for you. You called the shot." And so, so from an 8-year-old to that, just every time that deer is very, very special to me. And these two are up here too. But that 160 means the world to me because he called the shot on that one.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Great story.
yeah.
I love that.
Thank you. Must have a great dad. It really was.
What was your dad's name?
Named Bill. Yeah, Bill Lance.
Nice. I have
Yeah.
to. I gotta ask. What's the nickname of the tree stand, by the way?
I'm not telling you that because Joel will get wore
Nah.
out. What's
Oh yeah, you probably shouldn't say that. I didn't even think about that. I just
no,
didn't.
no,
I didn't know if it was like the Mister 200 stand or something silly. I didn't know if it had a
no,
silly name.
no. There's an actual name for it, and
Oh.
and literally the years that followed that, Corey, Joel got wore out because it
Oh, because people were constantly begging to hunt that stand.
take me to the
Yeah.
take. I got to hunt. You know what I mean? So
I never even thought of that. Yeah. I thought it was
yeah,
gonna be
oh
like
yeah.
something silly.
No, no. Poor Joel. Yeah, we should have never named. We should have never named.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
So
was a good place.
so kind of to end or wrap up our little ending session here, is there anything
Yeah.
else, now that Joel's not here, is there any stories or anything, anything you want to say about Joel or the situation or looking forward to coming back this season or communication or,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. Always looking forward to coming up. I mentioned to you before I did about 160,000 air miles a year for the last 10 years of my career. Excuse me, and I'm retired now. But there were times he would laugh because I saved a week in there. That was just my time for the tree. And I called it my tree stand therapy. And Joe would always laugh about that, but he would make sure that I was tucked away in somewhere to spend the day. And I'm one of those kind of guys that you can drop me off, come pick me up at dark. Just I just love to be in the tree. And yeah, and Joel will. The thing that I love about Joel Snow and the whole program, him and Tim both, those are two guys that literally love the sport of deer hunting. They love the art of archery. They will do their very best to make sure you have a great time, not only in the at the lodge, right? That's
Yeah.
always a ton of fun, but they will make sure that you have an opportunity at a really good deer, you
Yeah.
know. And if you're lucky enough to, you know, spend time, I mean, that's the big thing is spending time in the tree. And if you spend time, you do your part, be prepared, spend time in the tree when they drop you off. Don't ask to be moved every 20 seconds, you know, kind of thing, because you're not seeing something. Those guys work their tails off to make sure you have a great time and a great hunt. So, yeah, I'm blessed, and I get to meet guys like you, Corey, and others that come in through the camp. And I mean, I've that camp has been more to me than just a deer hunt in a lot of ways. Joel's
Yep.
become a good friend. Tim has been an amazing, very good friend. But some of the guys that I have known, been a part of, some of them are now not on this earth. Miss them, you know, because there were special times in that camp. You
Yeah.
know, so
So
yeah, it's the way I grew up.
I gotta tell you
Go ahead.
this, Vinny Scancarella. So for anybody that doesn't know that name, that's another client of Joel's, and Joel's talked about him on the podcast. He messaged me today, literally, and or last night, and he goes, when is Ron Lance's episode dropping, and blah blah, and he's like, I don't know how he knew or if Joel told him that or whatever. And I said, ironically, I'm actually wrapping it up with Ron tomorrow. We're getting it posted. I had some computer issues last week. I've been having some computer issues. I'm like, and I just thought that's awesome that he's watching and he's waiting for your episode to drop. So, and I think
Yeah,
I've met Vinny one time for a very short period of time. So I'm looking forward to this season of being able to
yeah.
engage and get to know him a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, he is a piece of work. He's absolutely a piece of work. But all those boys are. I mean, all three of them, Mike and Vinny and Nick. I mean, they are hunters.
Yeah.
They are hunters, but they love to have a New York kind of fun time. That's for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, we've shared some amazing time dragging deer out of mud puddles and up to your chest in mud, and it's just been a. Those guys are dear friends, and we've lived life together, even though they're in New York. You
Yeah.
know, just we stay in touch. Yeah. So part of the
So
brotherhood.
one last thing, Ron. And once again,
Yeah.
if you don't want to share this, no big deal. Before we got on, we were kind of talking about EHD, and Joel and I kind of bring it up every episode now. Like we've been talking a lot about EHD and the updates. Do you mind? Nothing specific, but do you mind sharing the story that you told me about somebody you knew?
No, not at all. I think we're in a really tough spot right now within the state, and I think other places, Indiana, Illinois. I think everybody's hitting it because of the heat. And I was telling Corey, a friend of mine just south of me, has about 250 acres, and they did a mass grave, and they picked up 40 deer, bucks and does on that property. And they do have a creek, pretty good, significant creek, but it's one of those, it's got a rock bottom on it, but it's dried up, kind of thing, and it's really hit them hard. So I don't know the science behind all of it. I don't think it's possible to even stop it. You know what I mean? We've got two different things going on, but it's one of those things where it's going to take us some time to mend. I mean,
Yeah.
bottom line,
I
it's going
mean,
to take us a couple years. Yeah, yeah. So I've heard of areas in Ohio that they're actually talking about shutting deer hunting down this year. I don't know that that's true. And Corey, Corey, that's for you to figure that out with
yeah.
some of the guys. But I've heard that there's discussions that we should potentially in the southeastern part shut it down, and that's a big decision. That's a really big decision.
Just because
So
of the extreme loss they've already suffered, and now they got these tag limits and bag limits, and they're just going to devastate. Is that kind of like what you're hearing a little bit?
yeah, yeah, and on one of your podcasts, Corey, that I listened to, you guys, I think it was Rick, it was talking about the average age of an Ohio deer that they don't make it to 2 years old,
Yeah. Yep.
kind of thing. And that's in the normal hunting season.
Right.
Add to that the death rate before the hunting season even starts. I would be in favor, of a reprieve of some sort, just to give Mother Nature a chance to heal.
Sure.
I would hate to be in one of those areas and give up my tag, but I would. I would.
Yeah.
If it would help. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's just so everybody knows, it's the date is 9/16, September the 16th, and we haven't had maybe one rain in 7 weeks up here where I live. So one rain in 7 weeks. And so it's getting pretty, it's like Joel and I are constantly updating every week on the podcast, and like you were asking if we have found any deer, and both of us had, neither of us, and my cousin Chris, who you met, who runs the cameras and stuff,
Yes.
he hasn't
Yeah.
found any on his property, luckily. But you just see it creeping up the map, and just you pray that it doesn't reach you, because I think and it's something like, if they're reporting this week, what are they going to be reporting the following week or the week after, and the week at the numbers are going to get exponential, and it's not good. It's not good. So
No, it's not. And I saw a map, Corey, and I'll send it to you. I sent it to the kids the other day, and it showed the Midwest, and it had everything lit up in red and different, temperature zones. And basically, 2/3 of Ohio into Indiana was lit up just white, and it said the driest area in the nation.
wow.
And that came from a Weather Channel. I mean, you think about that. I mean, that's devastating. And not just, we talk hunting, right? And we literally talk hunting. Think about the farmers.
Yeah.
Think about the crop. You know what I mean? I mean, this is about revenue for a lot of those people, and yeah, we love the sport of hunting, but brother, it's a revenue thing too.
Yeah. There's
So
bigger
yeah,
things out there than this, right?
yeah, just the joy of hunting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, but yeah, we got an issue. Hopefully, we can survive, at least in the western part of Ohio.
Well, hopefully the next time I see you, we have 5 or 6 inches of rain and 10 or 11 inches. Hopefully this podcast brings some good luck to it. So
And inches of bone, right?
yeah,
And
there you go.
we need
There you
inches
go.
of water and inches of bone.
Yeah. Well, I uh,
So
I I appreciate you getting back together on this, Ron. Like I said, my goal is
no
it's the
problem.
16th of September. The 18th of September. I want this to drop, so I got a little bit of editing to do, but I'm excited to get it
That's cool.
done.
Yeah, me too. And keep Vinny happy. You don't want to mess up the Skankarella boys. Don't mess with them.
That's right.
I
So
tell you how close I was to them. I have two daughters. They're both beautiful. And when I was struggling with a boy one time, and I was talking to Mike, Mike goes, "You just remind him that you got friends in New York that have land and shovels. That's all you need to say."
I love that.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
that.
So, man, it was a
Good.
pleasure. It was nice to meet you again, and
Yep.
I'm glad we were able to do it.
Absolutely. I'll probably see you here sometime soon, here in the third week of November.
Oh, absolutely. You'll see me the first week of November.
Oh,
I'm
first
with the
week. That's right.
Skanks.
You switched. Yep. You
That's
switched.
what stuff.
Was that this year? That's been in the last couple years.
Last two. Yeah, this will be my second year with the
Yeah.
first week of November.
Very
Usually
good.
it was that week of the 15th, because both those deer were killed 15, 14, 15.
Yeah.
So I didn't leave that week, but the opportunity to hunt with Mike and them again was I had to say yes.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you the first week of
Yeah.
November then.
All right, man. We'll
All
see you
right.
later.
See ya.
Have a
Bye.
good evening. Bye bye.